Hello grade 9 students. Welcome to another virtual class. I am Miss Madhu Vadke. We are studying chapter 14, Statistics. In previous video class we learnt how to represent a raw data as grouped frequency distribution. There are many ways in which we can represent the data. You have studied some of them in lower classes like pictorial graphs, pie chart, bar graphs, etc. In next section of this chapter, we will study about graphical representation of data. Usually, comparisons among two or more data are best shown by means of graph, as the graphical representation is much easier to understand at just one glance. So in this chapter, we will study two ways of graphical representation, that is bar graphs and histograms. Before we proceed further, I will let you know what part is deleted by the board from this chapter. Histograms with unequal width is deleted. Frequency polygon, mean, median and mode is also deleted. So we will be studying bar graphs and histograms with equal width. In today's video lesson, we will learn how to represent data using bar graphs. Since you have already studied bar graphs in lower classes, today's lesson will be like a recall. So recall that a bar graph is a pictorial representation of data, in which we draw bars of uniform width with equal spacing between them on one axis, which is x-axis. This axis depicts the variable. So on the x-axis, we represent the variable for which we are collecting data. And the values of the variable are shown on the other axis, that is y-axis. So the data that we have collected for these variables comes here. The height of these bars will be proportional to the value of the variables. All these bars are of uniform width. So say I choose 1 centimeter for the thickness of these bars, then all bars will be of 1 centimeter width. Also, the spacing between these bars should also be equal. That is, the gap between the bars should be same. So you could choose 0.5 or 1 centimeter, then throughout it will be same. If there are more variables to be shown on the x-axis, then the gap between the bars can be 0.5. And if there are less number of variables, then the gap between the bars can be 1 centimeter. Likewise, you can adjust the thickness of the bar. If there are more variables on the x-axis, then the thickness of the bar can be taken as 0.5. Otherwise, we can take it as 1 centimeter. Let's consider this example. In a particular section of class 9, 40 students were asked about the month of their birth, and the following graphs were prepared for the data so obtained. So in this question, the data is collected for birth month. So the birth months are going to be the variables, which is plotted on the x-axis. And the data collected for these months is plotted on the y-axis, that is, number of students that have birthdays in these months. Notice that the gap between the bars is uniform throughout. Also, the thickness of the bars is same. The height of the bar corresponds to the value of the variable. So looking at the graph, we can answer these questions. How many students were born in the month of November? So we look at the height of the bar to answer this question, and we find that the corresponding value is 4 on the y-axis. So 4 students were born in the month of November. In which month were the maximum number of students born? The maximum height for the bar is for August month. So, in this month, maximum number of students were born, that is 6. So, the answer will be maximum number of students were born in August. Now, there is one thing missing in this graph, that is the scale. In case of bar graphs, scale is not required for x-axis. However, you have to show the scale for y-axis. So, the scale for this graph on the y-axis is 1 centimeter equal to 1 student. Remember that the scale has to be shown. It will carry marks. Remember that a graph is complete only when the scale is shown correctly. The x-axis and y-axis are labeled accurately according to the information given in the question, and the bars are plotted with correct height. With this knowledge, let us draw some bar graphs for few questions of exercise 14.3. Question number 1. A survey conducted by an organization for the cause of illness and death among the women between the ages 15 to 44 in years worldwide found the following figures in percentage. So, here in the first column we have the causes of death of women, and on the right hand side column we have the female fertility rate. Represent the information given above graphically, and then we will answer these questions looking at the graph. So, here in this question, the variables are causes for which the data is collected. So, these are the values or data. So, variables will go on the x-axis and values will go on the y-axis. Now, let's look at the numbers that we have. The smallest number is 4.1 and the largest number is 31.8. So, we have to number the y-axis in such a way that all these numbers can be accommodated. So, draw the x-axis and the y-axis. Don't forget to label the axis as x dash x and y dash. Mark the origin. On the x-axis, we will represent the causes. So, I am going to take the gap between two bars as 1 centimeter and the width of the bar also as 1 centimeter. On y-axis, if we use the scale 1 centimeter equal to 1%, then 31 numbers will not fit here. The largest number is 31.8 and that needs to be shown on the axis. So, we will choose an appropriate scale for y-axis. So, let 1 centimeter be equal to 2% fertility rate. So, now we can number the y-axis accordingly. Now, before proceeding further, we will find out the height of the bar according to the scale that we have chosen. So, the first observation is 31.8. The actual height of the bar on the graph will be 31.8 divided by 2, as we have chosen 1 centimeter equal to 2. So, 31.8 divided by 2 will give us 15.9. 25.4 will be 12.7. 12.4 will be 6.2. 4.3 will be 2.15, which we will round off and write as 2.2. The next frequency is 4.1, which on dividing by 2 will give us 2.05. So, on rounding off the second digit, we get 2.1. And the last frequency is 22, so divided by 2 will give us 11. So the height of the bar is in terms of centimeter. We have to count these numbers in terms of centimeters on the graph. So 15.9 will be here. This is 15, and after that you will count 9 small divisions and then draw a bar for this data. We can label the bar with the corresponding cause, reproductive health conditions. The next bar is of height 12.7. So 12 centimeters is till here, and after that we will count 7 small divisions for 0.7 and then draw a bar of same thickness. The next bar is of height 6.2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 comes here, and after that you will count 2 small divisions. So leave a gap of 1 centimeter and then draw the bar. Label the bar with corresponding cause. The next is 2.2. So from 0 we will count 1, 2 and 2 more divisions after 2. And then we have 2.1 and 11. There is something missing in the graph. It is not yet complete. Yes, we have to label the y-axis. Female fertility rate in percentage. Now this graph is complete. Looking at the graph, let's answer these questions. Which condition is the major cause of women's ill health and death worldwide? The height of the bar is maximum for reproductive health conditions. So this implies that the major cause of death among women is reproductive health conditions. Next question. Try to find out any 2 factors which play a major role in the cause in question 2 above being the major cause. So what are the 2 major reasons for deteriorated reproductive health conditions in women? It could be lack of proper diet or lack of exercise or lack of medical facilities in rural areas and many more, or poverty. All these can be the causes. Question number 2. The following data on the number of girls to the nearest 10 per 1000 boys in different sections of Indian society is given below. So here the variables are sections of society for which the data is collected. The data collected is number of girls per 1000 boys. So this will go on the y-axis. Represent this information above by a bar graph. And what conclusions can be arrived at looking at the graph? Now take a look at the data. The smallest number is 910 and the largest number is 970. So we have to number the y-axis in such a way all these numbers are shown. Also, this data is not starting from 0. So we will have to use a king to represent the numbers from 0 till the number from where we start numbering the graph. Draw the axis and label it appropriately. Let's choose an appropriate scale for y-axis. Let's say 1 centimeter is equal to 5 girls per 1000 boys. So let's start from 910. This will be 920, 930, 940, 950, 960, 970. And here we can show a kink to represent the numbers from 0 to 910. On the x-axis, we are representing the sections of society. And there are 7 sections. So if we use 1 centimeter for the width of the bar and 1 centimeter for the gap, then there should be at least 14 centimeters on the x-axis. So leave 2 centimeters from the origin and draw the first bar that has height 940. Then leave another 2 centimeters and draw the next bar with height 970. The next bar is of height 920, then 950, 920 again, 930 and 910. Label these bars with the corresponding cos. Also label the y-axis as number of girls per 1000 boys. Now this graph is complete. Let's answer the second question. What conclusion can be arrived at from the graph? The number of girls is maximum in the scheduled tribe section of the society, whereas minimum in the urban section of the society. And notice that the number of girls for non-scheduled caste, scheduled tribe section and non-backward districts is same. With this we come to the end of this video lesson. Your assignment is question number 3 of exercise 14.3. See you in the next class. Until then, goodbye.